All right, so here we are, lesson 2 in angle relationships. But before we get into any of that craziness, just want to say hello and hope everybody's doing okay. It's definitely a crazy time in our world, and I don't know what to tell you. I just hope that everybody's staying happy and healthy and staying out of trouble and getting some stuff done and being productive and not spending too much crazy time on computers and video games, Minecrafts and TikToks and Roblox and whatever else is going on in the world, Fortnite, who knows. But anyways, hopefully you're outside, you're running around, getting some exercise in, trampolines, basketball, soccer, whatever you can do to get outdoors, get some fresh air, stay healthy, all that good stuff. And for those that got back from vacation this past week, hope you had a good time. Hope you're ready to go back into schoolwork now. So today and tomorrow is lesson 2 on angles and relationships of angles. We're going to talk a little bit about those here in a minute. And then by the end of this lesson today, I want you to take your test, your quiz. You'll get more than one attempt at it. That way you can improve your score. But make sure you're ready to go that first time, since it will average your score, and you'll get 3 attempts on that average. So anyways, here we go. A couple things to talk about. Number one is this is kind of what's printed out in your page that is in your today's folder. So complementary angles, supplementary angles. Sometimes people like to remember complementary, okay, as being the 90 degrees and supplementary as being the 180 degrees. There's lots of ways to remember that. Some people think of a C and then like another C makes an S. So the two C's, okay, like a 90 and another 90 makes up a 180. So an S is the 180, okay? So two C's make up the 180, or just a C by itself is the 90 degrees up there. Some people just think of it as real simple. C comes before S in the alphabet. C comes before S in the alphabet, just like 90 comes before 180, all right, when you're talking about degrees or numbers. So easy stuff to remember that way. That's just a couple quick ones. There's a lot of other ones out there. If it works for you, use it. Talking about things like a linear pair. A linear pair is simply two angles, like this angle here and this angle here, that make up 180 degrees. So if you have an angle and an angle that make up 180 degrees, okay, that have one common line like this is an adjacent angle here and here. So two side-by-side angles that are on one big line make up 180 degrees. That's called a linear pair. Okay? So that's special type of supplementary angle, because even if you just had a 36-degree angle over here and you had another much bigger angle separate from that, okay, these two angles could be supplementary if they add up to 180. They don't have to be connected like this one is. This is going to be a linear pair. Okay. Next up, things to know and be ready for would be vertical angles. Vertical angles can be found in all sorts of things. I'm going to give you a little inside scoop here, okay? A little bit above and beyond. I'm going to draw a parallel line. So two parallel lines. We know these are parallel lines, okay? And we know perpendicular means like this. Perpendicular is 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, okay? But these two are parallel, and because they're parallel, I'm going to put a special line right through the middle of them. I'll do it in a different color. This is going to be called a transversal. So this black line right here is called a transversal. Transversal, okay? The transversal creates 8 angles. Here, 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 and here. You don't need to know some of the other connections. I actually went over this with some people last week that were really getting into this a little bit more. So we talked about other angles that are found, okay, with this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Some of those have different partnerships as well. But vertical angles are going to be here and here. These would also then be vertical from each other, opposite of each other. Vertical angles, remember, are always equal and opposite. So like this would be vertical with this. And this would be vertical with this. So there's lots of different pairs of verticals. There's actually 4 pairs of vertical angles. 1 pair, 2 pairs, 3 pairs, 4 pairs. Okay, that's vertical angles. All right, so looking through the list, adjacent, we already talked about that. That's when the angles are side by side. Think about your neighborhood. You have an adjacent neighbor, the neighbor next door, and to your left, and the neighbor to your right. Those are your adjacent neighbors. Everybody else in the neighborhood, those are just neighbors. Okay. So the only thing that you're going to have to know outside of what we discussed already is simply how to solve for x in certain relationships. So I'm going to give you a tough one first. And I know we want the tough one first. We'll do fairly simple. We'll go here and here. Okay. And let's do x minus 5 degrees for this angle right there. And then 2x minus 90. 2x minus 90 degrees. All right, now a couple things to notice. Number one is x minus 5, that's the value of the degree symbol. And then 2x minus 90, that's the degrees. So they're calling it a certain amount of degrees. It's this many degrees and it's this many degrees. It's not that you're solving for x and then whatever you get is the amount of degrees. You have to plug back in for that x value to get the actual amount of degrees when we're done here. So what do we know? We know that this angle, just like in our last picture, these two are equal to each other. And because they're equal to each other, we can set x minus 5 equal to 2x minus 90, because this right here has to be equal to this right here. So now I can solve for x. And I can do that by, I'm going to subtract an x on this side, subtract an x on this side. X minus x goes away, negative 5 on the left is now equal to x minus 90. Over here, I have to get rid of this negative 90, so I'm going to add 90 to the right, add 90 to the left. Negative 5 plus 90 is worth 85 equals x, so x equals 85. And now we've got the 85 equal to x, but we have to come back up to here, plug that in for this x value right there, and then we'd say, oh, 85 is equal to x. 85 goes in for this. 85 minus that 5 means that this angle is actually worth 80 degrees. And remember, real important, whenever you're doing things like this in a picture form, just because it doesn't look like that might be 80 degrees, because it's clearly not even close to being what 80 degrees would look like, you go with what the numbers are telling you, not the way the picture looks. Don't ever base it on the way the picture looks. Same thing over here, though. We're going to plug in this 85 for this x. And we're going to put 85 right there. 85 times that 2. 2 times 85, that's going to be worth 170. So this is going to go away and become worth 170. 170 minus this 90. Well, guess what? 170 minus 90 is also equal to 80 degrees, as it should be, because 80 degrees here has to equal 80 degrees here. All right, last but not least is a little bit more complex, but not super challenging. And these are the things you need to be able to do. Look for the relationship of the angle, and then solve for the x value, and then plug them back in to get to those angle measurements. All right, so let's say that we've got one that looks like this. Straight across here, and you have x degrees coming this way, so x degrees going that way, and then 6 plus 6x plus 8 degrees right here, and x plus 12 degrees, x plus 12 degrees in there. Okay, all right. So once again, this time we have 1, 2, 3 angles, but we do know that that angle plus that angle plus that angle all have to equal, I hope you're saying it right now to yourself, 180 degrees, because it's a straight line. And we know that that straight line is worth 180 degrees down here, because it's worth 180 degrees up here as well. And then this 180 up there, along with the 180 down here, would form a full circle. And we know that a full circle is equal to 360 degrees, things that we're getting better at, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna say, well, this plus this plus this has to equal 180. So once again, we'll set that equation up. And I'm gonna do x plus 6x plus 8 plus x plus 12. That, and that. I'm gonna combine my like terms, x, 6x, and x. That's 1, 2, 3 different terms, but that's x, 6x, that's 8x. 8x plus the 8 and the 12, we know that to be 20. So 8x plus 20 is now equal to 180 degrees. So I'm going to get rid of this 20. We can do that by subtracting the 20 on the left and subtracting 20 on the right. Things that we've done for quite a while at school. We're good at this now. Cancel, cancel. And this is going to be worth 160 over here. 160, and this is worth 8x. So divide both sides by 8. 8x divided by 8 gives me just the x value. X 160 divided by 8 is worth 20. So now we get x equals 20. Once we get x equals 20, we know that this right here is automatically going to go in for that, and that is a 20-degree angle right there. Okay? And then over here, we're going to plug in a 20, and that's going to be worth 20 plus the 12. So then that becomes worth 32 degrees right there. And then 20 is also going to go in for that x right there. 6 times x is 20. That's 120 plus this 8. This is worth 128 degrees. Now, what can we do to check it? We should definitely say, oh, well, that plus that better equal 180. So 128 plus the 32, that equals 160, plus this extra 20 equals 180, and therefore all of this does equal the 180 that it's supposed to, because this is 180 here and 180 up there to make a full circle. Awesome. So the only other thing out there that you want to talk about is the word bisect. Not bicep, like, that bad boy right there. Okay, bisect. And bisect means to cut an angle into 2 parts, equal parts. So if I were to start, let's say, with this angle right here, and I'm going to tell you that this is worth 80 degrees. If I show 80 degrees right there, I'm going to bisect that angle. I'm going to bisect the angle. It's going to come right smack through the middle. Okay, and now what it's done is it's made no longer 80 degrees. It's got a 40 and a 40. So 40 degrees and 40 degrees. If I were to bisect both of those angles, well, then I would go like this. And now I've got a 20-degree angle, a 20-degree angle, a 20-degree angle, and a 20-degree angle. So maybe I'm now referring to just this angle right here, and it'd be worth 20 degrees, 20 degrees, 20 degrees, and 20 degrees. So bisect means to take an angle and cut it directly in half. Okay, so guys, I think you're fully equipped for your assessment and your quiz moving forward. There's 12 points in Edge Elastic. That's going to be really, really important practice. Look over the mistakes from that. And then when you're ready, take the little quiz that is in Schoology. You'll get 1 attempt, 2 attempts, 3 attempts. They'll average your score together. And then when you're all said and done, I'll know you're finished by looking at your score. Please make sure that you're getting this done. Please make sure that you're reaching out to friends, checking on them. Are they doing their schoolwork? They can reach out to me. Sign up for conferences if you need conference time. Just go to the link in Schoology, pop your name into a list. We have like 8 people per slot, 15-minute time conferences. So, put your name in a slot, and then we can meet up and talk about any questions you have. So we always meet every day from 1:30 to 2:30. Okay, so 1:30 to 2:30, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But again, go to that sheet first. Don't try to just jump into the conference. I want you to have your name on that list, and that way I know who to expect in the conference. And you might even email me a question or 2 ahead of time. That'd be fine too. That way I can look them up and get you some specific answers. But here we go. That was your math homeschooling with yours truly, Mr. Simmons. Stay healthy. Have a great day. Be well. Tell your friends to get their math stuff done. Email me with questions, conference time, find a slot. If I'm forgetting something, I'll talk about it in another video. Be well, everybody. I miss you guys. Take care.